appears that it's working. Hello there, MHF 1979. I'm just going to hit some balls today. I don't want anybody to expect anything too exciting, but I need to get warmed up first. I just spent an hour, and I spent an hour trying to get this working. I've got two cameras set up, one up high behind me, and then one directly above me, so I get two different views. And the idea is, on the bottom, the right side of the screen, I'll be able to review this video later. I do this all the time. But you'll be able to see a top-down view for checking alignment. And recently I did a video where I did a bunch of straight-in shots, so I tried to follow the cue ball into this pocket. And somebody said I might be cheating because of that mirror. And I don't think I was looking at the mirror. I used the mirror to check my alignment. But during that video, I wasn't looking at it, as far as I know. Maybe I was getting some clues without realizing it. So I'm going to shoot some follow shots into this pocket, and I just want to see if I had a lucky day the other day. On that video the other day, I made 9 in a row. 9 in a row from the spot where I pocketed the ball and scratched. And so you obviously want to see if you can reproduce that performance. You're hoping that it was not an accident. So I missed the first shot. I've got a rack drying. Somebody ordered a walnut rack, and I got the inlays in and got them clamped in drying. Let me put this over here. So I just thought I'd go live. And again, I'm still getting used to this software. So this is the first time I'm trying this deal here where I got two cameras. I'm using the OBS software. So I've got two cameras and my logo. So I'm kind of seeing if I can get up to speed on this technology as well. Look at that. That wasn't an accident. I just want to hit a few shots to warm up first, because like I say, I've been trying for an hour to fool with this, and fool with the software, not with the pool table. Now I got to get warmed up so I can shoot a little. There we go. I'll shoot a couple over here too, and I'll come look at the comments. So this is just kind of a free-for-all. I spent a lot of time. Nice. I spent a lot of my spare time recently working on that video that I just uploaded called about the tangent line. And so now I feel like I'm on vacation. So this is going to be casual today. I'm just going to hit some of these shots. Actually, when I get warmed up, I want to hit a whole rack to the left pocket where I don't have this mirror and see how well I can do. And then I might shoot an L drill or something else. But hey, I'll come look at the comments. So if anyone has questions, ask a question, and maybe I'll answer it if I can. Yeah, see, nice. So I'm looking in the mirror right now. This always happens. You think you got your fundamentals grooved, and then they degrade. So I'm looking in the mirror, and everything looks real good, except my head isn't pointed straight down the cue. It's pointed just a little bit to the right. Not a big deal, but if you want to be super consistent, it's something that's important. And then the other thing I notice is that if I don't, it's not grooved yet. It's not 100%. and that's my shoulder position. So although the cue's going straight and everything looks pretty good, my shoulder isn't all the way out, and I call it, I think this is the next video that I'm going to make, is about fundamentals and alignment, and especially for tall players. Because I think shorter, whoops, that's backwards. I think shorter players have it easier than taller players. What I'm talking about is my shoulders are wide because I'm so tall. I've got wide shoulders, so it takes more effort for me to rotate my shoulders and get my right shoulder into position. So if you're looking at the overhead camera, that last shot, I was like this. See where my right shoulder is? But the proper right shoulder position is that. See any difference in the overhead camera? Yeah, I'm talking and not paying attention to my shot. But that's the type of thing I'm going to review. And I record videos like this all the time on my own when I'm not streaming, just to check my alignment. So I'll review this video later. Let's see what it says. Back again. Voice sound distorted. Turn down the mic gain. Let me see if I can figure out how to do that. How do I do that? Anybody who knows OBS software, oh, here's a setting. Wait a minute. Mic. Oh, I see. There we go. Let me try that. There we go. Okay, I think I moved a slider in the software, and I think that turned down the mic gain. Let me know if it's better. And I wonder if, let me go, let's see, audio input capture. Let me turn that one off. Yeah, and it might have been double recording because I've got two cameras and I've got the wireless mic on my ear. And so it might have been recording a double audio. So let me know if that sounds better. Now all good? All right. All right, I feel pretty good. And then I've got my shaft out here. So I'm going to shoot some shots, and I'm going to try and see how many I can follow in to the left pocket. And I might do that with each shaft. Let me shoot another one here, just to check. Yeah, that feels pretty good alignment. That looks good in the mirror. Yeah. It's, you know, I've had this table in my living room now for how long? 6 months, I think. I think it might have been longer than 6 months. I'll have to check. But for a number of months. And so that whole time I've been shooting practice drills and trying different things, and I've got cameras set up all over checking my alignment. It's amazing how much work it is to shoot straight as you're experimenting and trying to figure out the proper alignment. And the reason is, and I'm going to get into this in the video that I make about alignment for tall players. The reason is, if everything isn't perfect, your elbow joint has to make a compound movement. Let me go over to the software here. Your elbow has to make a compound movement. In other words, if you're when you're swinging your elbow, you want it just to hang straight down. But if your shoulder and your elbow aren't in alignment, then one or the other is off to the side. And so rather than your wrist and hand just being able to move straight, you have to move straight and to the side in order to get your cue to move straight. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'll illustrate that when I get it put together in a video. So over the months I've been practicing my alignment. It would drive you crazy to know how much I've been practicing my alignment. Yeah, look at that. And my point is, it's hard until you finally get everything aligned, and then it's easy. And that's what happened last week when I did this video where I shot one rack and I made 9 in a row where I followed in and scratched. And for any of you who watched that video, I did that with this shaft, my carbon fiber shaft. And the carbon fiber shaft is it 13 or 12? I think it's a Q-Tech, so it's probably 12.9 or 12.85 millimeter. And this is the Z3, which is 11.75, so a millimeter narrower. So I'm interested to see what my results are going to be with the Z3. So let's do that now. And then later on, I'll tell you what I'm going to do about my shaft situation. Let me come take a look at the chats. Far away, this will work. I had my table for 7 months, huh? Okay, here we go. I've got, can you see all the balls there? Yeah, I got 15 balls lined up on the rail. All right, so this is it. This is the start. So I might not talk as much while I'm shooting these. So number one's a miss. Okay, we're off to a great start. Number two's a miss. Now that's nothing to do with the shaft. You can't blame that on the shaft. That's just me. The whole point of these exercises the shot is the purpose of the shot is only to distract yourself. There we go. It doesn't matter what shot you shoot. The purpose of what I'm doing here isn't making the shot and scratching. It's getting the proper alignment rehearsed. Let's see, those are misses and these are makes. Getting the proper alignment rehearsed so I don't have to think about it when I'm in a match. That's the purpose of this. Okay. There's so many things that go into your stance, your setup, your shot entry, your rhythm, your thoughts, your eye patterns. You can't focus consciously on all that when you're playing. There we go. So that's what you're doing when you're doing drills like this. It's not about the shot. It's about rehearsing the quality of the shoot, of the stroke, of the stance and everything. So those were missed, making scratch, and that's just a make. Oh, get in there, cue ball. Well, that doesn't count, but that was a darn good stroke. That one deflected to the right side of the pocket, and the one before went to the left. So what that tells me is the aim's good, but the stroke isn't straight yet. The follow-through for sure isn't straight enough. The warm-ups might be. Yikes. Runaway 9-ball. That goes in the miss column. Okay. I'll come look at the comments after I finish these 5 balls. Obviously, I'm not going to beat my performance on the video that I put up a couple days ago. Another close one. But not feeling the confidence that I felt when I made that video. So I'm curious if the shaft has anything to do with it or not. My guess is it's me and not the shaft. Nice. So let's see. I think I had 2 makes and 1 make and scratch. Oh my God. Man. And I was aiming carefully there, so that's execution, man. That's a bad stroke delivery. Okay. 4 missed shots and only 4 that I made in scratch. So that's nowhere near as good as I did with the carbon fiber the other day. So let me switch shafts. This is a bit of an experiment. I don't think the shaft can possibly make that big of a difference. But I'm going to shoot it and see how it feels. Shooting the 15 balls I just did might have gotten me warmed up. And I might do better just for that reason. Okay. Q-Tech is 12.5. Oh yeah, Q-Tech is 12.5. Thank you. I've been working on those long shots. All so subtle. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, you know what? When I'm on, it's beautiful. When anybody is playing well, it's beautiful. And the fact that it's so difficult to play well is why we keep trying. If it was easy, people wouldn't bother. If it's like tic-tac-toe, who cares? Anybody can play perfect tic-tac-toe. So, yeah, that's what drives us, because once in a while we play well and it's just beautiful and it just feels great. And then that's what drives us through the times when we don't play as well. Okay, this is the Q-Tech Synergy shaft. And again, I'm going into the left pocket, not to the mirror pocket with the mirror. So, just going to put in the same level of attention, which is, and we'll see if, I just want to see if the shaft, if I think the shaft is making any difference. Okay. If there's a miss column, yeah. So if it's so it's not the shaft if I miss the first shot. Okay. That's a make without a scratch over here. I want to look at myself in the mirror. I'm not going to shoot over here, but I just want to... Yeah, that's good. Yikes. Okay. One other thing I've been working on a lot lately, and it hasn't taken yet, is a shorter bridge. And that'll probably be in the video about alignment when I make that, because it's important as well. And it is related. So I like that stroke I just made, even though I didn't stroke it straight enough to follow in, because there was no side spin on the cue ball. That one, my Q-tip slipped off a little bit, which is why it deflected. So let me try a closed bridge. Okay. So it's a mistake to assume that the closed bridge was it, because I should be able to do it with an open bridge just as well. But we'll keep experimenting. One reason why I don't like the closed bridge for an open shot is my hands are so big. I can't see the cue ball. If I have a short bridge, I can't see it. I can't see where I'm hitting it. Okay. So I haven't played much because I've been doing that, working on that other video, but that's no excuse. Obviously, it is not the shaft. Isn't it amazing how much better the results are when you put in a little bit more effort? Sheesh. Yeah. Yeah. There was a real good example of this online recently. Oops, where'd my cue ball go? Once in a while it gets stuck right here. Yep. There was a real good example of this online recently. Somebody posted a video on Facebook by Alex Pegulayan, and he shoots a one-pocket shot, and the cue ball's here and the object ball's here. And he banks that ball, he cuts it backwards and banks it 2 rails over there, and the cue ball goes 4 rails or 5 rails around the table for position on a ball there to also shoot in that pocket. Anybody see that video? Pretty cool. My focus is not there. That's the reason for that mess, because I'm thinking about the video and what I'm going to say next. What is cool about that shot of Alex's is not the 2-rail bank shot with 5-rail position. I want you guys to find that video and watch it again, because there's an object ball up here somewhere. And he shoots the 2-railer, and the cue ball comes around and stops like right here on the rail. So in order to complete this little exhibition shot, he needs to shoot this ball down the rail in the corner. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's not an easy shot, especially not when the cue ball's against the rail. I don't know if you can, oh, you probably can't, yeah, you can see me. What I want you to do is look at when Alex walks over to shoot this shot, the second shot. Watch how much time he takes before the shot, and then when he gets down on the ball, watch how much time he takes and how much effort and how much work he puts into it. That's the mark of a world champion. And that's what I'm dealing with right here, because I can get down on this shot, waggle a couple of times, and once in a while I'm going to make it and follow it in. That's not good enough. 2 out of these 3 that I made and followed in, I was quiet and concentrating, and I took more than just 2 warm-up strokes. No, I'm missing. You can make the shot sometimes doing it wrong or doing it in a lazy fashion. The only way to make it all the time is to do it right. Okay, so that was equally poor performance with the carbon fiber shaft. So I'm going to switch back. Let's see. Hey, Bob Zach, thank you very much. Because historically, I've been playing for 40 years, and historically, jumping up on the shots has been my #1 biggest problem. And over the last 8-12 months, I've worked hard on that, and I'm staying down so much better. But you're right. I come back up too soon. Staying with the shot absolutely is going to make a big difference. So thank you for that. Smaller tip size is better for pinpoint on the cue ball. It is. And in this case, when I'm shooting straight, a straight-in shot, I don't think the tip size shouldn't matter. I think a larger tip is going to be more forgiving. And I'm wondering if that is part of the reason why I had a good performance on that video where I made 9 in a row with the Q-Tech, with the 12.5. Just have to pop them in. Yeah, you have to have confidence. 12.9. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to shoot another one with the Z3, just because it doesn't take very long, but I'm going to be quiet during this one. I'm going to try and, I'm focusing on my alignment, so I'm trying to make sure that I'm aligned well, because I don't think it was the shaft. I don't think the shaft should matter on this shot. Let me put in some little better effort here and see if I don't see a difference in everything, and that includes staying down, because I would love to repeat or do a similar quality performance with the Z3, just to prove to myself it's not the shaft, it's the shooter. It's not the arrow, it's the Indian. And then after this rack, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with my shafts, what I'm doing. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to be quiet. Yikes. Wow. Very unexpected. that was stroking before I was ready. Even though I took 3 warm-ups, it wasn't right, and I shot anyway. Yikes. That one deflected like all the way over to the first diamond. Whew. Bingo. Let's see, that was one there and one there. Yes. Okay, 106. 7 balls pocketed and 7 balls followed in and scratch and 1 miss. So definitely better performance for concentrating, for not just going through the motions. How about slowing the stroke, staying down? Absolutely. Yes, Bob Zach, 100%. That's my problem since day one. I want to make a video about that too. 12 pots with 9 fouls and 3 misses. Nice. I've always been known as a fast shooter, and I do things fast. My job used to be to go in and fix retail stores that were failing. And you didn't screw around. You went in and you got stuff done. You changed staff. You cleaned things up. You did things fast. And then efficiency just in daily motions has always been a big thing for me, doing things quickly and in a very efficient manner. And so it's hard for me because when you play pool, you got to throw that crap out the window because that does not matter. That does not apply. Pool is about what Bob Zach said. Slow down, stay with the shot, commit, take your time, slow backstroke, smooth follow through, stay down. The quickness and efficiency doesn't apply at all. So it's a very big change from my normal life, and I just think that's part of the problem. Now, that felt pretty good, but I'm going to change shaft and do it again. I'm going back to the carbon fiber. I want to do 15 more. Not because the shaft might be a difference. Now, I said I was going to tell you guys what I'm going to do with my shaft situation, because I've got these two shafts that I'm thinking about, the Q-Tech Synergy and the Z3. So I'll tell you after this rack. I promise. So same thing. I'm going to try not to talk much and put some focus into this. So here's the Q-Tech Synergy. Same thing, open bridge, everything same. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. That one I made, and that one I made and scratched. Okay. That was a fast backstroke. That was way too fast. Slow her down. Still fast. Not as fast, but still too fast. Better. Oh, let's see. I think I made one, and that one's... Ay, ay, ay. That is not acceptable. It is. Isn't that funny? I shot the 9-ball so bad I missed it completely. What did I do here? Did that one? I think it goes here and this one goes there. And then the very next shot, I shot straight. Yeah. Some of these shots, my setup was not straight, and I'm adjusting when I see the backstroke is crooked. So it needs to be straight the moment my bridge hand touches the cloth, or it's not right. Yikes. That felt good. I don't understand. Huh. All right. Well, that was better. That was for 8 instead of 7 that I followed in, but the 2 misses make me very upset. But I have to say, it's not the shaft, it's the shooter. I don't think that the synergy is better or worse than the other one for this particular shot. A lot of short strokes. Steve Miserak. Yep. I've noticed that a lot, and I first noticed short strokes on whenever a player has a long shot. Like, for example, this can come up during a straight pool match, but it can come up comes up very often after the opening break shot of a straight pool match, which is to say you might have an object ball here, but the guy played the safety break, and the cue ball's against the rail. and there's only 1 or 2 other balls loose from the rack, so you can't just shoot this in. You got to shoot it in slow enough so the cue ball bounces off the rail and gives you a shot on the next ball. And what I've noticed a lot of the pros doing, and it's assisted by the fact that you can't make a long bridge because you're on the rail, but they don't do a big old backstroke. They just get lined up and they pull it back an inch and go through the ball. And that's a way to just kind of cinch the ball when you're especially like this, when you're a long way away. See, you get locked in on that aiming point, and then just pull your cue back, a 1-inch backstroke, and go through. Because I'm not trying to stroke the ball and make the cue ball move a long way. It's just to cinch the ball. So yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think that applies to a lot of other shots. And then for me, because I'm so tall, and then especially because I play a lot of straight pool, short bridge, shorter backstroke, playing at the bottom of the pendulum. That's where it's at for me. All right. What did I say? Oh, okay. So I was really happy the other day when I made those 9 in a row using this Q-Tech Synergy. And it's not, I don't think it's the shaft. It's 98% the shooter. But there is a point to be made in the fact that I shoot a lot of straight pool. And when you're shooting straight pool, I think a larger diameter tip is better because it's more forgiving. So when you're shooting straight pool, you're playing really precise cue ball position, and you might think, oh, well, then I want a narrower tip so that I can really place the cue ball precisely on the cue ball. Well, that's not it. What you want is a larger tip diameter because then it's more forgiving. So if you don't place the tip precisely where you need to, you're still getting the position you want. It's not as the cue ball's movement is not as dependent on you being so precise. And I think that's important. I think a narrower tip, you see a lot of the players, one of the reasons I bought the Z3 was because Joshua Filler likes it. But Joshua Filler plays mostly 9-ball. In 9-ball, you're shooting very precisely, both to pocket the ball, because you're shooting long shots at 4-inch pockets. And then you're doing things with the cue ball, drawing it and spinning it and checking it and going 2 and 3 rails for position. So I think, in my opinion, a narrower diameter shaft like the Z3 is better suited for 9-ball. That doesn't mean you can't play straight with it. I'm sure a better player than me sure could. But for me, I think a larger diameter tip's the way to go. Now, that said, why don't I just play with my Q-Tech Synergy all the time? Well, that occurred to me. And the other day, after I ran the 9 in a row straight, I went down to the pool hall's got a local, $20 entry 9-ball tournament. And I hate 9-ball, but I went down there for the express purpose of playing in the tournament with the Synergy shaft, just to see how I did in competition. And for my first couple of matches, I barely could make a ball. In fact, if I had a shot like this with this Synergy shaft, I would hit it thick to the right side of the pocket. No matter if I was cutting the ball to the right or the left, it would go like that. And I was like, well, that one I made, but it would hit the right side of I would hit it thick. And I was wondering, what in the hell is going on? And I finally figured out after a while. I switched shafts during my second match, and then I played okay. Not great, I played okay. I played better. But then in my third match, I switched back to the Synergy because what I was doing was in 9-ball, I spin the ball a lot to move the cue ball. And so I was like, well, I can't spin the ball. And when I got back to the center line of the cue ball and just used speed and adjusting the vertical position of the Q-tip, then I was able to play okay 9-ball. Not great, I was able to play okay, and I stopped undercutting the balls. And so I went home that night and thought about it, and here's the deal. Let me put a target over here. I'll just put a target. Here's a little chalk holder, and I'm going to aim right, I'm going to aim at that point. So I'm going to shoot the cue ball with the Synergy shaft. This is a deflection test. And I'm going to shoot at the very two diameters to the right on the cue ball, but I'm going to aim the shaft straight at that point. Watch where the cue ball hits the rail. So, extreme right English, and I'm sighting right down the shaft. The shaft is pointing straight at that point. So the cue ball hit right there. And hopefully you guys saw the same thing. I think the cue ball hit that far. That's 1 ball diameter away from where I was aiming. That's the Q-Tech Synergy, which is supposed to be a low deflection shaft. So now the Z3, same exact thing. Let's go extreme right English, and I'm taking my time to make sure I got the shaft pointed straight at that point. You see where it hit? It hit like maybe a ½ inch at most to the left of that point. Okay. My point is the Z3 has far less deflection than the Q-Tech Synergy. Yeah, the Z3 is a low deflection shaft, no doubt about it. That Z3 is a quality piece of equipment. I really like it. Now, but you think about it and you say, well, wait a minute. The Shane Van Boning shoots with a Q-Tech Synergy 15, exactly like the one I have right there. How the hell does he shoot World Championship level 9 ball with this shaft when it deflects that much? And I don't know the answer to that question. My guess is he stays in the center of the cue ball. He doesn't spin it. The other guess is that maybe he plays with it so often that he's completely adjusted to the amount of the deflection. But I went online and looked at shafts again. And when you look at, like, you might go do a Google search, top 10 best low deflection shafts, on and on. The Q-Tech Synergy 15 is rated at the top of the list all the time. And sometimes the Z3 is rated highly and sometimes not. But I don't know why. I don't know why the Synergy gets such high ratings. Because in my opinion, this is not a low deflection shaft. I'm going to do another test while we're at it. This is a maple shaft. Just nothing special about it. This is a typical maple shaft. This is the shaft that came with this cue when I bought it almost 20 years ago. Just a maple shaft. No low deflection characteristics. Nobody knew what low deflection was. Well, they knew what low deflection was, but nobody was making specific shafts specifically for low deflection back then. Just your average, everyday maple shaft. Okay? Extreme right English. I'm pointed right at that spot. And that cue ball hit in the same place that it hit when I shot it with the Q-Tech Synergy. So, in my opinion, the Synergy is not a low deflection shaft. I don't care what they say. I don't care how short the ferrule is. I don't care how hollow it is on the inside. Maybe I've got a bad one, and other Synergies don't deflect as much. I don't know. But I do know this for sure. This Z3 is a damn fine piece of equipment. It hardly deflects at all, and that's at a pretty firm speed. The harder you hit it, the more deflection you're going to get. I hit that pretty hard, and it barely deflected a half inch over 6.5, 7 feet of travel. Okay, so here's what I'm getting to. I love the Predator spliced maple shafts for low deflection. I love the wider diameter Q-tip. By the way, my maple shaft, I believe, is a 13. Let's look at it and see. What? Oh, wait, this can't be right. Is it zeroed out? Okay. Okay, the maple shaft is 12.25. The Synergy, I'm measuring at the ferrule. No, that's not right. It's supposed to be 12 point, oh, there it is. Okay, now that's 12.63, 12.64. And I thought it was supposed to be 12.5. But I'm getting 12.55, 12.6. Let me go back to this maple shaft. Yeah, 12.3. Oh, never mind. I wasn't measuring to the right place on the caliper. Okay, so we're going to do that over. The Z3 is 11.8. The Synergy is 12.5. Yep, right on the money, 12.5. And the maple shaft, yeah, is 12.35. Okay. I'm tall with big hands and skinny fingers. I like a thicker shaft. So I like the low deflection of the Z3, and I like the thicker shaft of the Synergy. So I wish I could put these two shafts together, and that's what I did. I bought a shaft, and it's going to be delivered on Tuesday. What shaft did you buy, Bob? So I did a lot of research, and I want to stress it's 98% the Indian and not the Arrow. But if you're fighting the Arrow, if the Arrow is making it more difficult, why fight it? Why not get a shaft that suits you? So I'm not saying this is right for everyone. I think this is going to suit me. I bought a Predator Vantage shaft. The Vantage shaft is 13 millimeters, or it might be 1305. 13 millimeters. Again, I have skinny fingers. I like that, and I like the fact that it's going to be more forgiving. And the Vantage shaft is going to be, I hope, have the same low deflection characteristics as the Z3. So if I like the Vantage shaft, I'm going to sell the Z3. And, well, I'll sell the Synergy. I don't know. I'll probably sell these. But I can't wait to try that Vantage shaft. And the Vantage shaft has been out for, what, 7 or 8 years? Yeah, I might have to reset the caliper. Yeah, I reset it. I've heard about Keelwood shafts. I'm nervous about trying those. They seem like they're supposed to be real stiff, maybe. But what I read about the Vantage says that it's pretty stiff as well. So, yeah, Z3 is laminated maple, and so is the Vantage. The difference between the Vantage and the Z3 is the Vantage does not have a pro taper. It's a conical taper. And then it's wider at the start. It's 13 millimeters. Let me look it up. I believe it is 13. Let's see. Predator Vantage shaft. Oh, it says 12.9. Okay, 12.9. That's good. That's fine. So not 13, 12.9. Not as you'd be able to tell the difference, but 12.9 millimeters in a conical taper. I believe that that's going to suit me real well. And I'm looking forward to it. Vantage is the stiffest shaft that Predator makes. Okay, good. Good. Well, anyway, I'll have 3 shafts, and if the Vantage doesn't work out, I'll know exactly what to do. I'll go back to the Z3. You got a Revo that's 12.9? Okay. I remember for the early part of my career, I shot with a McDermott, and I should look at my Prather, and then I shot with a Prather cue for a while. And I thought they were closer to 13 millimeters. Let me look. Here's... This is the shaft that came with my Prather cue, which is the first, good quality cue that I bought. Still, it's a production cue, but it was a good quality cue. 12.45. So 12.9 is going to be thicker than any shaft I played with. I'm actually looking forward to it because I really believe that with my long, skinny fingers, I'm going to like it. And I think I'm going to adjust to it real well. Yeah, most shafts were 13 millimeter. I remember that. I mean, there was almost no other choices. It was almost exclusively 13. So I'm very used to shooting with 13 millimeter. I wonder why that is. Is it because straight pool was the championship game until the 1980s? I'm not sure. Anyway, isn't it funny how we spend so much time fiddling with the tools of the trade, with these shafts, extensions, and all these things? What kind of tip do you have? And I keep on admitting that all that stuff is only at most 5% of the game. It's 95% the Indian. I'm kind of tired, guys, but if you're not bored, I know you guys are talking. Go ahead. I'm going to shoot another rack of straight-in shots. That's what I would do anyway if I was practicing by myself. I'd be going one rack at a time, looking at the numbers, which of course aren't all that important, but then watching the video and just looking at my alignment. So I haven't had the chance to go back and review and see if my alignment is staying good or if it's deteriorating as I shoot. That's something that I'm really paying attention to nowadays. I think that's part of the. I shoot too fast, and when you shoot fast, your fundamentals start to deteriorate, and you don't get lined up as perfectly as you could. So I'm going to try and make an effort here. Okay, I'm going to shut up. Excuse me. I'm going to shut up and shoot another rack and I'm going to the Z3. So even though it's a narrower shaft, doesn't matter. It's the shooter. Bazinga! I don't think Sheldon's a good pool player. He's too analytical. My tip finished way to the right, even though I made the ball. That's not staying with the shot. Huh. Bazinga! That was a well-struck ball. Best struck ball of this whole wreck. That's where it needs to be on every shot. Yes, sir. Gosh, darn it. They cannot take any shortcuts. It just doesn't work. Shit. All right, well, 5. Yeah, just practicing to make the ball and follow straight in. I'm looking forward to going to the video and looking at it and comparing it to the other night when I made 9 in a row. My guess is there's something small, something little that's making it more difficult tonight to follow through straight. And I need to find out what that is. Who's Sheldon? Somebody help him out. I'm kind of tired. Anybody have any questions or requests? I'm going to hang on for a minute here. Questions or requests, let me know. And I'm going to sign off. Does anybody want to watch me play straight pool tomorrow? I'm going to be in the pool hall tomorrow morning for a few hours, and I might I could go live if anybody cares. I got a let's see, straight pool league, and it's probably boring watching the blank screen with nothing's happening. Does this work? I can't read the chat from here, but I'll go look at the chat in a little while. There's a delay. Let me see if I come on screen there. Straight Pool League in Denver started 2 weeks ago. First match, I won both. Well, I sort of won both of my matches. The first one, I got a high run of 62 or 65 in the first game. We played 2 games per night. So my first night, I won both games and got a high of 65. The second night, I won both matches and got a high run of 62. But the person I played has a low handicap and isn't happy with that, and she wanted to play to a higher handicap. So she would have beaten me. She would have had to go to 35, and I go to 215. So she got to 42 the first game and 48 the second game. So she was going to 50 by her own choice, which I respect the hell out of that, because that's someone who doesn't care about results. She wants to play pool and get better. That's really cool. So she let me win those 2 games. But I feel pretty good about getting to 215 before she got to 50. even though I didn't get any other high runs. I had a 62, and then I might have had a 46 or something, and that was it. Those were the only high runs. So tomorrow morning I'll be in the pool hall on the 5-inch table, the table with 5-inch pockets. If anybody cares to watch, let me know, and I'll go live in my stream, my practice session. You're welcome. Does following the ball? No. I'll tell you what. What it does is you're aiming with so much accuracy on these shots. What can happen is sometimes in a game, you're dead straight in, and because you've shot this drill, you know that you can cheat the pocket a little bit and not scratch. And it's not a bad thing to set up this drill and do that as well. In other words, attempt to pocket the ball and make the cue ball deflect to the left and follow it out 2 rails. And then shoot another rack where you're making the cue ball, cheating the cue ball to the left, and the cue ball deflecting to the right and coming around the other 2 rails. We'll see if I can do it. Let's see what happened the last time. Oh, the last time. Yeah, I'll tell you guys what happened the last time. That I broadcasted from the pool hall, I thought the microphone was off, but for some reason it recorded the sound anyway, and then YouTube gave me a copyright claim for the music and all that crap. So if I go online tomorrow to play straight pool, I'm probably not going to wear the microphone. I'm not going to look at the chat until the end. I'm just going to shoot, and you guys can just watch me practice. And I'll have the microphone turned off because of the sound system in the pool hall. I can't have it recording any of the music. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Yes, I need to get 200 before April 27. I have a calendar with my runs. And let's see. I started January 1st. I set the goal. My high run during the month of January was 84. And that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's only 2 attempts per week. 1 attempt means 1 trip to the pool hall where I might shoot from 2 to 3 hours. That's 1 attempt. And so during January, I only made it to the pool hall twice a week, and 1 week only once. And my high run was 84. In my opinion, and I wasn't happy about that. In my opinion, though, that's not going to cut it. If I want to get to 200, I've got to shoot more often to really get in stroke. What does in stroke mean? Yeah, maybe that's a topic for a video. But you hear about the pros, the top pros, and how often they practice. This is why. This game's so hard. You just got to be in dead stroke, so that the only thing you have to think about is the ball you're pocketing in the position. You can't be thinking about your stance and your alignment while you're trying to play a match. Anyway, February I played the same amount, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, twice per week, and my high run was 95. 95, and I had a bunch of 50s and a couple of 70s. And then in March, so far in March, my high run is 96. So I beat my high run from February by 1 ball. And I'll tell you what, 96 is a great run, 95 is a great run, 84 is a great run. But the fact that I've been trying for 2.5 months and haven't run 100, that pisses me off. There's no other way to say it. I'm not happy. And so April 27 is looming large. January, February, March, April. There's April 27. We're right here. So I'm trying to get to a place where I get to the pool hall a minimum of 3 times a week. And it's hard to do that in my schedule, but if I'm going to get to 200, I've got to go a minimum of 3 times a week, if not more often. And that's quality attempts, not just half-hearted. You got to go in with the express intention of playing serious pro pool. And so that's what I'm going to try to do tomorrow. I got a 96 on the first week of March. And then the next 2 weeks I've had a lot of work come up. I only went once in the second week and once last week. Only once. And I had high runs of 65 and 62. So I had a lot of work on my plate, making videos, etc. That was the week of my 50-second Rack of the Week video, so just a lot of stuff on my mind. Any other excuses I can come up with? Anyway, let's see. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow is the 19th? Yeah, 19th. So tomorrow will be the second attempt this week, and then starting next week, I'm going to try to go at least 3 times, if not 4, in a push to get to there. Because I don't think I'm going to show up one day and run 200 balls. I'm going to have to have a couple of days where I run 120, 140, 150, 160, and that's going to give me the confidence and the resolve to keep going, and then I think I can get to 200. So that's the plan. Okay, let me go look at the chat. 714. Justin's, it's Jason. Jason 714. I can't say. I can tell you that the BCA WPA are looking at his run. That's all I can say. In my opinion, 714. He legitimately pocketed 714 balls in a row. Holy crap! That is an incredible accomplishment. Now I'll tell you, that table was really easy. In my opinion, that Jason's table that he played on, if you give you the motivation, I'll give you 200 for your birthday. I don't know if it will or not, but thank you. In my opinion, the table that Jason Shaw played on played easier than the table that John Schmidt ran 626 balls on. And everyone's talking about the rack, the template rack, and I don't think the template rack was as big a deal as you think. Yes, it was some part of a deal, but as far as I know, John Schmidt used a Sardo rack. So he was getting a dang tight rack every time. And so I don't think the rack is a big deal. So what was the difference? And both tables had 5-inch pockets, or just a hair under 5-inch pockets. So what was the difference? The difference is that the table that Jason played out at Legends had, I think it had parallel pocket facings. So the standard, the professional standard, is 140 degrees for your pocket facings. And I don't know what the pocket facing angle was on the Legends table. I don't know. And he sold the table. So we don't know if it's set up the same way now. But there are pictures of it on his website. It's hard to tell. I cannot say. It looks like it was, the pocket facing angles on that table were like 130, 135, which means if a ball gets close to the pocket, it's going in. It's not going to rattle out or hang up as much. Now, if you watch Jason, and Shane and Earl for that matter, who played on that exact same table, they rattled balls. When they hit them hard at a bad angle, they rattled them. So it is not, balls did rattle out of those pockets. And then, but if they hit the ball softly, it would fall. So if you watch Jason, you can't watch the 714. The video's coming out, and by the way, I ordered one already. Can't wait to get it. A copy of the 714 run. But if you watch Jason play earlier in the week, for that 6 days he played earlier, plenty of times he shot a shot that hit the rail from an angle, not parallel to the rail, from out in the middle of the table. And he hit the side rail a half diamond away from the corner pocket, and it still went in. I guarantee you that shots like that would not have gone in on the table that John Schmidt ran 626. Now, whether that matters, because he still made 714 balls in a row, that is a fact. So whether it matters that it was an easy table, I don't know. That's not up to me as far as an official record. But as far as my personal opinion, I'm damn impressed. I know I couldn't run that many balls on that table. And another thing you got to realize, everyone talks about how soft, and I'm talking about how easy those pockets were. Well, when the pockets swallow object balls easier, that means it swallows the cue ball easier too. So the fact that Jason went 51 racks without scratching, that's amazing, and that's not just luck. That's skill. And Jason hit that 51st break shot exactly the same way that he hit the 50 break shots before it. And it was just luck, bad luck, that it scratched in that upper corner. If it didn't scratch, he might have run another 20 racks. Who knows? So I'm so impressed with Jason's run that I bought the DVD, and I can't wait to get it and a piece of the cloth. And it's gonna be framed, and I'm gonna hang it on the wall next to my framed picture of John Schmidt's run. I bought the cloth from a piece of cloth from John Schmidt's run with the certificate, and then I built a picture frame that looks like a pool table. And I think I made a video about making this picture frame. It's on YouTube. But anyway, I got number 44 because John Schmidt ran 44 racks plus 10 balls. So proud of that, and I'm going to be just as proud of the 714, and I'm going to hang them both on my wall. Anyway, any other jibber jabbers? Yeah, that's the thing. If I went to that table at Legends with those huge pockets, I would miss or scratch before I got to 200. I mean, I think I could make a real high run because of the easy pockets, but I'm not the caliber player that Jason Shaw is. I wish we would have had a chance to see John Schmidt play on that table, because John Schmidt's not going to miss on that table either. And that's the thing. Jason Shaw went 51 racks. Only a few times he had to shoot a tricky shot, like a long combination or a carom shot or something funky like that. But he made them all. He did not miss for 51 racks. Now, if you watch him earlier in the week, he did miss some shots. That's the nature of pool. So it's an incredible accomplishment. All right, man. I'm gonna go. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna download this video and look at my alignment and see if I can see anything in it. And I might be on. I'll probably be on tomorrow morning, but I'm not gonna talk or type. I'll just play my practice session or my straight pool attempts tomorrow morning, about 10 o'clock or so. Thank you. Good night.